Attention, this is a very special kind of nerdy girls. Joining us, special guest, Chad Michael Collins. You know him as Alex from Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and from the Sniper movies. And he is back by your request to celebrate over 100 episodes of the kind of nerdy girls. Thanks for getting us there.
Welcome to the Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast. Fandom, fun, funny.
Jonna! There's Jonna! How you doing?
Hi, pal.
Hi.
Jonna, there you are.
All right. It looks like Chad is ready to join. So are you guys ready? Katie, you got gaming stuff ready to go? Mm-hmm. Jonna, you got anything you've been weeping about if we go to you?
I watched Lucifer.
Okay. All right. I don't know if we'll talk about that with Chad. Let's see. Well, let's see. Let's let him in and decide. Let's see.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everyone?
Good. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Look at you and your fancy blue screen.
I know.
This is my webcam upgrade, just a blue screen.
He's actually incognito right now. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
So are you, Jonna. Jonna is, she's on location. She disappears for weeks at a time.
In my car, literally.
Oh, are you home now? Are you back from your sketchy job?
I've been home since Thursday.
Why are you in your upgraded studio with your new microphone, you clown?
Because I have to work, excuse me.
Oh, that's right.
That's
right. Okay. All right.
I remember work.
Yeah.
That was.
Last week, I'm going to have to post this picture so you can see it, Chad. Jonna was on her sketchy, CIA job that she does, where she disappears for weeks at a time. And then, I don't know, they pay her in cash. She's at an undisclosed location, and she poses as targets, like they're practicing shooting her or something.
That's true.
She sent us a picture of her. They gave her was it a fake gun that they gave you this time?
Yes,
No, they
it
gave
was
her
fake.
a real gun.
Yes, it was a fake gun.
So I don't know. She's living in your world, Chad. She's being like a real life Alex.
International woman of mystery. I love it.
Well, thank you very much for coming back. We were trying to get you on for our 100th episode, to make 100 episodes a really big deal. But as weird as it is in our world where we don't leave our house, it's really hard to schedule anything. It's amazing how busy we are for people who don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I hear you, and thank you for the reschedule from last week. I apologize for that, but you're absolutely right. I don't know how I've gotten this busy. I should be just lounging and watching lots of TV and movies like it seems like everyone else has been doing, but it's been the opposite of my experience this whole pandemic. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, same here. It's been crazy. I know that you're very active on Twitch and playing Modern Warfare with all of your followers. Has that become a regular thing? Are you doing that? Is there a certain time people can always join you, or are you still just whenever you feel like it?
Yeah, I'm working towards this thing called a schedule.
What is that?
That's a nice thing to do for people to come join us. So I'm working on that. Yeah, so far I've just been shooting from the hip with it. And just when I've got a few hours to connect and to play with gamers and fans and Call of Duty players, I just pop on, and whoever wants to come party, we come party and have a good time. So I'm keeping that going. I'm enjoying it a lot, actually. I'm having a lot of fun. And the cool thing about playing with all these fans and Call of Duty lovers is that they're teaching me how to play the game and they've moved the needle for me from terrible to okay as a player, thanks to their advice and their guidance. So that's been nice.
Yeah, I remember when we had you on the show before, you were admittedly not the greatest player of Modern Warfare.
Keep it consistent.
I feel like at some point, Katie's going to bring this up anyway as the gamer on the show. After we talked to you, I decided I don't do a lot of gaming. We have Galaga and Pac-Man in our basement. So there's that. And then we have an Xbox and a PS2. that are still limping by. But I just decided, like, we got talking, and I was like, Katie, I think I want to do this. This sounds really fun. I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare is my game. I'm going to do this. And look at her face.
Go on. It will not be your game.
I don't know. Katie, do you want to tell him how far I've gotten and the things I've attempted so far?
Nope, you go ahead.
I made it to setting up my own Twitch channel.
Oh, okay.
So I have that now.
What is it so I can subscribe?
So that Katie can subscribe.
Oh, nice.
But I didn't realize, Chad, and maybe you can weigh in on this and help. I didn't realize what a big life-changing decision it is to go with Xbox or PlayStation.
People have opinions. That's what I've discovered. I'm a PC guy, so I play off my PC. It's just a lot easier for me to stream and everything else. But I've always preferred PC gaming. You know, I've always owned a console. I've got an Xbox One over here, and the PlayStation players will throw the hate about that. It is what it is. I hardly ever boot it up. I'm always playing off my PC anyway. But yeah, there are definitely some divided and strong opinions about which console is better.
But with Modern Warfare, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what system you're on.
No, it's all going to run beautifully on any system. I actually upgraded my PC rig just because the old one I had was 3 years old and it just couldn't handle Modern Warfare very well at all. I was getting a lot of crashes especially when I streamed. Modern Warfare is a beast. It's a big download. It's a big, beautiful game, and it's a lot of fun because of it. But on the older computers, it's a rascal.
Let me ask you, I think I'm leaning PlayStation just because I like the idea of the VR. And Katie is PlayStation. Yes. Well, the Marvel VR that's coming out. Like, I want to, we talked about this last time, Chad. Like, we're Marvel fans. We want to, like, the fact that I could immerse myself in virtual reality with Marvel, I may never come back.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. So I'm leaning that way. But I really, Katie is just being so quiet because she's so judgy of me and my choices in gaming. I really want to start playing Modern Warfare.
I just think you're so confident, I guess is the word for it. You have to have a lot of hand-eye coordination that I don't know that you necessarily have yet.
Oh,
So weird. It's a great game, but you got to be able to play it to enjoy it.
What if I just got on Twitch and started playing? I would be worse than Chad was when he started.
It's the only way to learn.
So
How about that?
That wasn't very nice of me. I'm sorry, Chad.
No, I'm just saying it. Even with dumb luck and never have played before, you might be better than me.
I don't know.
For sure.
I don't know. Katie does have a point, and my hand-eye coordination is not fantastic. But I got to start somewhere, Katie.
You got to start
I agree.
somewhere.
Where would you start, Chad? Where did you start?
In gaming?
Yeah.
Oh, Super Mario Brothers. That's
Classic.
the beginning of my gaming journey. The Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt World Class Track Meet 3-in-1 Nintendo cartridge that came with my first Nintendo. That's where I got started and quickly moved on to Contra.
Oh,
which
nice.
is my all-time favorite side scroller. Back in Nintendo and stuff. And I've always gravitated towards the RPGs. The original Final Fantasy was on Nintendo, and Legend of Zelda, of course, classic. And Super Nintendo, it followed suit. I still love the RPG games the best, and went on through PC gaming and the original Diablo and all sorts of stuff like this, playing the old D&D Baldur's Gate games. Warcraft, I've been playing on and off for 12, 13 years. So I'm a fantasy nerd, as we all probably touched on last time. You know, I'd never played Call of Duty Modern Warfare, like the multiplayer component where you get in the game with all the other players from around the world. I'd never really done that because I've always been the story guy. I've always liked to see the story unfold in video games. But I got to be honest, it's a lot of fun playing multiplayer in Warzone. Is a whole different animal, and you cannot predict a human player's movements like you can with the bots and the AI. I learned very quickly.
Katie, have you gotten into the multiplayer? I know you were against it.
No, I still really like RPGs and stories and stuff like that. I was scorned by Fallout 76, and I'm not ready to open my heart and try again.
Oh, that's right. Do you remember what a big deal that was, Chad, when Fallout 76 was coming out? It was going to be like the first time that there was multiplayer, and Katie, for like months and months. Like every time we did a gaming update with Katie, she was counting down the days.
Yep.
Fallout 76 is going to change your life. It's going to be the greatest thing.
And it did change my life.
Not in a good way, it sounds like.
What didn't you like about it? Was it the fact that you couldn't predict?
So the main problem was when they opened it up, it was kind of patchworked together where it wasn't necessarily 100% functional. And then on top of that, it had zero story. And it was pretty much just an empty world where you would, run around and shoot each other and play games and stuff like that. And none of that is what I liked about the Fallout universe, because Fallout 3 was the first M-rated game I paid for with my own money. I really loved this series so much. And what I loved about it was that it was so expansive and there were so many stories and it was so in-depth in every capacity. And it was just empty.
No story.
And it broke my heart.
Just do what you do, right? No need to mix it up. Just do what you do, Fallout.
And I think that's kind of what they're back to, isn't it, Katie? They were like, okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, they're working on fixing it, but I'm not ready to learn to love again.
Oh my gosh.
Time will heal.
It's been like 2 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It's a weird day for us to be together and talking all of this nerdy stuff, and I don't want to get too much into the sadness of the world right now. We have to address, Jonna, we've been texting each other like, we've been doing some crying texting, Chad. The loss of Chadwick Boseman is, it's insane. Like, it's not, we can't comprehend it. I don't know, Chad, I know you're so into the Marvel universe, and I would love, your thoughts on what, especially being an actor as well, your thoughts on all of this and what is Marvel going to do? That's
tough, and I think I was shocked as anyone. I was literally, I don't know if I was on a stream or I was playing, I think, Call of Duty with some friends over the weekend, and I caught that. The alert came through my email inbox, and I was just, your jaw hits the floor, because he was a young guy, and he was always very fit, very healthy. It was shocking to learn that this is something he'd been enduring for years, actually, and we all watched and appreciated his performances in 42, playing Jackie Robinson, and then, of course, Black Panther, and the James Brown movie he did was amazing. And I remember the early stages of his career when he was appearing on one of my favorite shows, Justified, just a guest actor trying to get by and level up his career. So really sad, really wonderful to see the tributes coming out all weekend long in the outpouring of kind of love and everything else. It just shows what an impact he had, and that movie, Black Panther, if you're talking Marvel Universe, had. Really, you can't replace someone like that. Maybe they find a creative way to put his sister in his shoes and take the franchise in a whole new direction. But with a movie that impactful, to replace and just swap out is going to be a very tricky thing, I think.
Chad, I want to ask you, I have not tried to see it. I know it's like there's been years and years of this movie. Is it coming out? Is it not? Have you given a shot to New Mutants since it came out?
I haven't checked it out yet. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Honestly, I remember I still own, what was it? New Mutants 87, first appearance of Cable. I still have that bagged and boarded back in my parents' house. So I always enjoyed the New Mutants. They're this wacky, young, spunky offshoot of the X-Men. So I'm not opposed to watching the New Mutants film. I heard it's very different, tonally, just very dark, almost like a horror movie, and takes place like in a psychiatric hospital, I think, something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I've always liked those kind of goofy characters. I had a lot of those comics growing up, so I'm sure I will check it out eventually, if not right away.
Yeah. Everybody, I feel like the country's in like all different spaces. Are movie theaters even open around you?
Probably, because I know they were experimenting with just opening up more and seeing how it's going. I haven't looked into it really myself, with as busy as I've been, but I wouldn't be opposed to go and being part of that first wave to go check out the movies back on the big screen. I think it's something we all miss. I know drive-ins have become incredibly popular in the LA and surrounding areas, and people posting pictures all the time of going to drive-ins and checking movies out, which I think is cool. I grew up, my little podunk town of 2,500 people in upstate New York had a drive-ins, and it was basically, the policy was $10 at the driveway, and you cram as many people in the car as you want. It's only $10 for that double feature. So there's a nostalgic piece of my childhood that I always appreciated about getting chewed up by mosquitoes during the summertime watching movies.
Yeah.
No one really had very much of an AM radio set up. It was just very old school, very retro. And I haven't done that out here in LA, but it's pretty cool to see that they're all making a comeback.
Yeah, we have one here, and we've always gone. Like at least once a summer, we'll try to get to some movie, and they're, like you said, they're thriving. We're actually working with them right now, looking at their schedule of movies that they have coming up to do one of our kind of nerdy night out. I hope what comes out of this is that the drive-ins thrive and maintain, and it becomes that event again of going and, like you said, cramming into the car. My parents love that with 9 kids. It's just $10 to get in, and we can throw all 9 kids in the back seat. We are in. You were mentioning the movies trying to come back. It was weird this morning when I was looking at the weekend review of how some of the movies have done, and they were celebrating that Bill and Ted made over $1 million in the theaters. And you think, how crazy is that?
I know, right? No, I remember that the New Mutants made something like $6 million, total. And people were just, that's pretty good given the circumstances, because everyone's dropped that gold standard of the $100 million opening weekend. They've got all these movies. They're just trying to get them out there however they can. So $6 million in the face of this lockdown is a big victory, apparently. And it's just, these are the times.
Yeah. So what is that like for you since the last time we talked? Is there any kind of movement on going back into production with anything? Or did you have anything in post-production that'll be coming out?
Nothing in post-production. It's been crazy. I feel like for months now we've been on this weird edge of our seat roller coaster. It's okay, we're coming back. We're coming back. And like, yeah. Like next month. Yeah. Like totally next month. It's been like this for literally months now, where it's just, everyone's just waiting with bated breath for the industry to turn a corner and productions to green light again. And have we nailed down this COVID thing? Can we get out ahead of it? And things are happening. I think there's a lot of first wave productions going up, mostly indie films and whatever. I know the studios are dealing with more people, more production issues, whatever. So they are the ones taking it slow and cautious, and for good reason. But it's been nuts. The one thing that I have been busy with is just trying to do some voiceover auditions and stick some voiceover jobs as much as we can, just to keep it going and stuff. But in terms of hard physical production, you hear rumors and inklings of things going back. Canada's ramping up. I know some of the other states, Louisiana, New Orleans, these places are all getting up and going again. And that's what it was going to take. It was going to take the brave people to be the frontline first responders to this pandemic, and just we'll see how it goes. And there might be some speed bumps along the way, but eventually we're going to have to move forward, unless we all just want to say, hey, good run, entertainment industry, we're done forever. It's going to take that boldness from people, from studios, from networks to just go for it and adjust accordingly. And that's what we do as humans. So I'm hoping it happens sooner rather than later.
Oh, for sure. Because even you think about, we can't have the entertainment industry throwing in the towel, because that's all we have connecting us.
So it's nice to see sports come back, you know, and they're finding a way. And I know that we can too, for sure. Yeah. And we can do it safely, and we can do it cautiously, and we can still create the things that bring people joy. I think it's just more important than ever. And I think that's why you see the studios, rather than pushing New Mutants to next year, where I know that would be safer when things calm down and the profits would maybe look a little bit better and the margins for them. They're doing it now. And it's really nice for people to be able to feel that sense of normalcy, to watch a new movie, not just recycle the stuff that they've seen before from their collection or on Netflix or whatever else. I think that's a good thing. And I think it's just good for all of us in general. And hopefully that trend continues.
Well, and fingers crossed that Wonder Woman will come out in October like it's supposed to. Oh, my gosh. Do you have that same affinity for DC? I know you were more of a Marvel Comics guy growing up, but did you get into anything last weekend with fandom and the trailers that were coming out for Wonder Woman and Suicide Squad and all that?
Yeah, I did catch a lot of the trailers and stuff on the back end. I didn't watch the fandom event live, but I've always appreciated DC for sure. Marvel was just always the thing that spoke to me the most when I was growing up, but I've always stepped into the DC universe to read and stuff like that. And Batman Hush is like one of my all-time favorite Batman stories. I own a collector's hardback edition of that. And Jim Lee is like my favorite artist of all time, and he's co-head of DC. So I've always had an appreciation for all that stuff. I've seen all the movies that they've done and stuff like that. I've had friends work on those movies and help produce those movies and stuff like that. DC is always really cool and fun to watch and play with, even if Marvel is something that's a little bit more near and dear to my heart.
So who's your Batman?
My favorite Batman actor was?
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Give Robert Pattinson a chance. Come on.
I'm open to it. Well,
It looked cool.
Yeah, it did look cool. And they set it to that Nirvana song. I was like, ooh, that's how you get me. But look, Christian Bale is what he did. And it's just, if you looked at the X-Men movie as like the first wave of, hey, you can make really good, films about superheroes, comic books, and it can be critically acclaimed and do well commercially. Let's do this. And then the Spider-Man movies came for Sony. And then soon after you had Christian Bale just crushing it with Nolan, as Batman. And that just launched 1,000 ships from there. And I just think it's just classic trilogy, and he's probably my all-time favorite.
Okay, let's play, because the last time we did this, we played Wed, Work With, and Wipeout in the Marvel world. And I was like, who did Chad wipe out? I'm trying to remember. You wed Jean Grey, you worked with Spider-Man, and you wiped out Cyclops so that you didn't have the competition for Jean Grey.
Yep, sounds about right.
So let's play in the DC world. Wed, Work With, and Wipeout. Katie, do you remember? It's been a while since we did DC.
Yeah, I don't remember who's in DC. It's been a long pandemic. Give me a minute. And
all the characters that are going to be in Suicide Squad, like you're adding to that. Are you not excited about Suicide Squad?
Anything's better than what they did, though. So there's that.
I don't know. I'm excited. I think with the cast that they have, they all seem like they're just gonna have so much fun with it that it'll have the tone and the feel that I think we were expecting from it. John Cena is referring to his character as the douchey Captain America. Who doesn't want to see John Cena as a douchey Captain America?
At this point, I'll take any movie.
And you have to trust James Gunn. He did such a good job with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
he knows how to handle an ensemble cast. So I think it's true. It's in good hands. And my God, you just can't screw up Suicide Squad again.
I would wipe out that whole movie. Just pretend it never existed.
Even Harley Quinn?
Yeah, that movie was bad. Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey, a lot better.
I didn't see Birds of Prey. Should I see that?
Yeah, I liked it.
Chad, did you see Birds of Prey?
I did not. Last DC movie I watched finally, because I missed it in the theater run, was Shazam, I believe.
Oh, did you like Shazam?
I love Shazam. I thought it was just awesome. I really loved everything about it.
Zachary Levi and Asher Angel did such a good job of playing the same character and making it so believable. That's one of the things that I worry about. I think I brought it up last week we had a vlogger who was live vlogging in the DC fandom, and she covered the Shazam thing. And we were talking about the pandemic might ruin Shazam too, because Asher Angel is getting a little too old to play Billy Batson, and that would be a shame because he did it so well.
I don't know about old. I would say taller. Probably taller, not too much older, just a little too tall, probably.
He's really tall. Last year, he came to town, Chad, for PopCon, the virtual PopCon that you did with us a couple months ago. He was in town, and he was already like a foot taller than he was.
Oh, boy.
So, and that was a year ago, and now I can't imagine what he's like now. Okay, Wed, Work With, and Wipeout, Chad. It's on you.
Oh, my. This is, man.
And the Wipeout has to be, it can't be a villain. It has to be someone on the good side.
It has to be someone on the good side. I'm so challenged for a deep encyclopedic knowledge of DC. So it's hard for me to expand my mind into anything beyond Justice League. So, all right, boy, Wed, it's corny, but Wonder Woman, come on. Wonder Woman is fantastic and just an icon and a symbol. Work With, I I think it'd be fun to work with Green Lantern, just because that ring of power he has it's just capable of anything. I just think that giving call outs and telling him what to create with that thing, whether it's a massive smashing fist or a net or anything else, I think that'd be really fun and make for a really creative battle, creatively fulfilling battle, if not actual victory. And Wipeout, I'm going to wipe out Green Arrow. I think that because he was in Justice League on and off through the comics, right?
Yes, he was.
He was in, he was out, that kind of thing. I would wipe out Green Arrow just because I think like he's a little underpowered, and it's nothing personal. I think he's great running around maybe as a vigilante, but when you hold him up to the Flashes and the Batmans and the Supermans of the Justice League, it's kind of arrows. I know you could say the same thing for Hawkeye.
Don't talk about my Hawkeye like that. He's the heart of the Avengers.
Hawkeye. Hawkeye was not even a member of the Avengers when I grew up. He was a member of the West Coast Avengers, and I had all of those. So I have an appreciation for Hawkeye, Mockingbird, Vision was on West Coast Avengers, Scarlet Witch, all of them were. And so I really like Hawkeye a lot, actually. I just, in terms of Green Arrow and Hawkeye, you shoot a bow and arrow real well, man. Like, I just don't know if you're going to hold a candle to Iron Man and the Hulk. Basically, Green Arrow and Hawkeye are to what I am when I play Call of Duty. I'm the guy you have to carry. I'm the guy who's not going to offer very much. I'll probably be a liability compared to everyone else. I'm just going to say, hey, take one for the team. We wipe those guys out.
Oh, man.
So the KJ of the team.
What? Really?
Over here.
Katie, who hasn't been in like the last 6 episodes, but shows up when it's time to talk gaming with Chad.
Oh, yeah. I've been busy, okay?
You have been busy. Katie is a TV producer.
Petting my dog.
Oh.
I've been busy building a fence, minding my business.
I was going to stick up for you and say you've been busy making sure that the world is getting the news it needs. But no, apparently you've just been ignoring me, the weakling of the kind of nerdy girls.
That's what you want to call it.
Thanks a lot.
Listen, I'm nothing but honest with you.
And that's why I love you, and I've missed you. It's been boring here without you to keep me in my place. Chad's like, this is getting weird. I don't want to be a part of these dynamics.
You won't work it out. I'm here for support.
Thank you. And you're going to support me in my efforts to learn how to play Modern Warfare, having no idea how to play any of these games since my last game was Galaga.
I'll be honest. I've played long enough casually that now I'm starting to actually read blogs and watch videos on how to improve.
Nice.
How to customize my guns, improving on movement, strategy, stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I've been winging this enough that I've certainly plateaued by winging it. I'm like, what do the experts do? What do the top-notch pros do? And so I've been trying to incorporate some more of that into my game just to incrementally improve a little bit more and more, and it's been a big help. So I'll extend that advice to you as well. But yeah, you've got to... The thing with any complex video game these days is that you have to spend the first 1 to 2 hours of your experience figuring out how to move and not be that guy jammed in the corner, just like pointing around, staring at the ceiling, stuck in the corner. Like, how do I get out of this corner? So that's just going to happen. You have to just own that first 1 to 2 hours is going to be a complete waste of figuring how to get yourself unstuck from a corner, staring at the ceiling and or the ground over and over again. So once you get past that, smooth sailing, I'm sure.
Okay. All right, 2 hours of that. I'm prepared. That will be my first Twitch stream. Will be just 2 hours of me trying to get out of the corner.
KJ in the corner playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare live at 7. Nobody puts KJ in the corner except KJ.
I love that movie.
Chad, so we can keep up with you on Twitch, of course. And let's not forget that Sniper Assassin's End came out in June. It made it before everything shut down, so that's still available on demand if you're looking for more entertainment. Mm-hmm. My husband is trying to catch up. Actually, I should just ask you. He was like, what was the first one he was in? Because I want to start there, because he watched Sniper with Tom Berenger early on. Oh, wow. So you were watching it and then you became a part of it.
I grew up on that movie. I remember that was always airing on cable, like TNT, TBS. They were always airing the original Sniper movie with Berenger and Zane. And it was really formative to my younger movie experience in that way. So yeah, very surreal to be the son of Tom Berenger running around and continuing the franchise. But Sniper Reloaded was the first one I was lucky enough to be a part of, 2010. They brought Billy Zane back for that one, and we shot a beautiful scenery in South Africa. It was really an awesome experience. And Sniper Assassin's End, which actually just had a theatrical release in Japan.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah. Select theaters. They're doing the whole pandemic thing, easing back into that sort of stuff. But it was really cool to see a lot of fans posting images and comments about seeing it on the big screen out there, which is always the preferred way to see an action movie, right? So
that's so cool. Is there any talk of maybe being able to do that in the U.S. once we get things up and running?
You know what? They've always talked about it, but I think the business model is for these movies is you keep the budget as low as you can, just make that popcorn movie. And the cool thing about the Sniper franchise is that it certainly has an audience here in the U.S., which I'm grateful for, but internationally, I can tell when one of these Sniper movies is airing somewhere on TV or whatever around the world by the fans. When they chime in, all of a sudden I'll get 25 messages from fans in India or Philippines or this or that or whatever. And I'm like, it must be airing on TV. One of those must be airing on TV over there because they're all coming from the same place, Turkey, sometimes Australia or the UK or whatever. So the Sniper is pretty cool in that it's kind of appreciated worldwide, and hopefully we get to do more very soon.
Very cool. Well, we appreciate you joining us for, I think it's like episode 105 or 6 now, but we made it. We're still doing this.
Congrats to you all. It's a huge accomplishment. That's very cool, and I'm always honored to be a guest on your show.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was. We put it out to our listeners, like, what should we do? And overwhelmingly, it was get Chad Michael Collins back on the show.
Well, thank you again for having me on. I'm big fans of all of you too. And I will make one request should I come back on down the road. The next 3 questions we do is going to be if in the G.I. Joe universe.
Oh, I almost did that today, Chad. The only reason I went with DC is because so much DC stuff has happened in the last week. We've been talking about the Batman.
True.
And so I was like, let's do DC. But we're on the same wavelength because I was like, next time, G.I. Joe. It's going to happen.
G.I. Joe. I'm reading my G.I. Joe encyclopedia right now, like for fun.
I need you to mail that to me so I can catch up for the next time we chat.
Jonna, do you know anything G.I. Joe?
I know that they're like the little figurines or whatever.
Yeah.
That's all
They
I
had
got.
a whole show.
How am I supposed to know that?
It was Saturday mornings.
It was a
Okay,
big...
well, I was asleep on Saturday mornings as a child. Unlike you guys who woke up early to eat cereal.
Blasphemy. I was up at 7 a.m. to watch Dukes of Hazzard, then literally 4 hours of cartoons, and then followed by wrestling at 12 every Saturday morning as a kid.
If I was up at 7 a.m. on a Saturday, it was because my mom is making me clean the house. It wasn't to watch TV.
We got up extra early. We got up, this is how motivated we were to watch cartoons. We got up at 5 to clean the house so that by 7, when Justice League was our first show, 7 o'clock, Justice League was on. We were like vacuuming and dusting and doing everything we needed to do because we were not going to miss Saturday morning cartoons. All right, Chad, we'll let you go. Thank you so much for being here. Again, we'll get Jonna educated on G.I. Joe and get you back here, and we'll do wed work
I'll be
with
so educated next time you come back.
All right, stay safe,
Awesome.
friend.
Thank you all.
Thank
All right,
you.
you
Take
too.
care.
Bye.
Bye.